people get so caught up in social media. This is why I generally refrain from posting P&L. Sometimes I do when I want to flex, but I think it's mostly detrimental to everyone looking at it. And all it provides the poster is a little bit of dopamine where people are like, wow, man, look at all that money you made. But the negatives are, one, okay, that dopamine hit you're getting from posting that big win is so fucking short. Two, the negatives are it's unrealistic for the vast majority of people to ever make that money. Most people will never make 100K in a trade. So it sets these false expectations because there might be someone who only makes $500 on a trade and they go, well, fuck, like I'm not making as much as Loma or Keyboard Monkey or Gainsey or Rookie or whoever. But if you can make $500 on a trade and then you can make 4 winning trades in a month, that's $2,000. Is $2,000 extra a month life-changing money? I would say yes. It might not be life-changing in that you're going to retire, but maybe that's your rent paid. Maybe that's your car payment paid. It sets these crazy unrealistic expectations, and I think that can discourage people. There are going to be some people that see that big number and they get motivated and say, holy shit, that's what's possible. But in reality, most people are never going to get to that number for a variety of reasons, and it can be discouraging. So I think that's a very big problem people have with trading is they have these unrealistic expectations like, oh, I got to trade full time and I need to be making 6 figures on all my trades to be successful. When it's like, in reality, if you can trade a couple hours a week, take a couple trades, make some money, then that money accumulates every month over time. It can change your life, right? As a nice little side income. It doesn't have to be the full-time job, full-time thing where you trade all day, every day. Most people shouldn't trade full-time. Not only is it really hard and not nearly as glamorous as you think, it's extremely risky. There's a reason why so few people do it. Like the risk reward is very hard to get to and get your head around. There's no consistent income. Who wouldn't want to play poker for a living? There's a reason most people aren't entrepreneurs, and there's nothing wrong with that. You don't get benefits. You don't get paid off time. There's no maternity leave. There's so many protections that you don't get. Having a regular job is totally fine, and it's a good thing. Most people are like, hey dude, I've got $2,000 and I want to make more money. What should I do? And I usually tell people, or they lost it all, I say, get a regular job and use that to cover your expenses. And then with the extra income you might have, fuck around with trading. Don't try and just jump into full-time trading. I think for most people, you're gonna fail, and your expectations are probably wildly inaccurate of what's possible. Most people, I think, are better off doing it just on the side, getting that extra little income. And then over time, hopefully, especially if you get good at it, you can maybe transition to doing it more, right? Like one of the things most people never do is figure out how much money they need to have in their trading account to cover their expenses. Like people are like, okay, well, you know, I got 50K set aside. I'm going to trade. It's like, okay, but from that 50K, do you need to pay your rent, food, cell phone bill, internet, or is that money separate? Are you covered for that? Or are you using that 50K to cover all that? Then you don't really have 50K. Then you're trading just to live, right? You want to have a buffer. You don't want to have to feel like you need to trade to pay your bills. You want to know that your bills are covered, whether by saving up a bunch of money before you try trading full time, or by having a regular job that covers all that shit. And then the trading, you're just taking high quality setups. You're not chasing trades because you need the money. But if you're risking 2% a trade, if you have $100,000 account, let's say you do 2R a week. Doesn't sound like a lot, but you'd be surprised. Like if you could do consistently 2R every single week, 2R every single week, that's 8R in a month. That's $16,000 a month on a 100K account. That's not including compounding, right? So you don't need as much as you think, but a lot of people don't think of all the other stuff in life that goes on, because if you need that 2R to make sure your bills are paid, you're probably gonna take some stupid trades that you shouldn't take because you're chasing the money. A lot of people don't give you the real talk, and I get why, because it doesn't sell. If I wanted to have way more followers, I would only talk about price going up only all the time. I'd be a perma bull, and I would shill my lifestyle as extreme glamorous. And yeah, I live a good life. I'm blessed. I live an amazing life. But I would just post pictures of my fancy car. I'd post pictures of watches. I'd post a picture of me with a laptop at the beach. But that's not realistic. It's very easy to sell that lifestyle. Like the Instagram, I'm making a big push on Instagram right now. And the reason I'm doing it is because I want to show people what's realistic. It's very easy to post lifestyle on Instagram and then sell trading signals, and that is how you fund that lifestyle. Like there's this guy named Lambo Raul who's a clown. He's an absolute clown. If you go on his page, he's driving multi-million-dollar cars. He's got a Rolls Royce, he's got multiple Lamborghinis, he's wearing a $500,000 Patek. He's showing huge withdrawals from a broker that he owns. What do I mean by that? He owns the broker, so he is manipulating the trades. He doesn't post any of his shit live, but at the end of the trading day, he does a review and he'll say, okay, well, as you can see here, gold came into this level here and I bought it and then I sold it here. And then he'll show you the screenshot on MT4 and it's like, oh, he made $40,000. Like that's insane. And then you go to his profile and you see him with all these cars and shit. And then you see that he's got a signal service and you buy it and he's making 100 to 200 grand a month selling signals. And there's a massive amount of churn because the signals suck. Lots of people are leaving soon after joining. It doesn't matter. He's got so many followers and people just see the glamour. They say, look, he's got the MT4 results. Like you can fake so much shit so easily and make it look like you're trading real money. You're actually making it. When in reality, that guy's lifestyle is 100% funded by the shit he sells, not by trading. I know it for a fact. Could I do that? 100%. I could go giga cringe influencer on Instagram, but I would rather be on Instagram but post realistic shit that I've earned through hard work as opposed to, you know, of course I'd love to drive a Lamborghini Performante that's $1 million around Miami with a $500,000 Patek on, but I'm not that rich. I don't have that much money. I do well, but I don't have that kind of money. Could I if I fucking sold my soul to the devil? Of course, but I think there's better ways to make it. Listen, I'm in a paid community with The Haven. Like there's value in paid services. I used a ton. I paid for Tom Dante. I paid for ICT's mentorship. Not saying it's not good, right? But I already had the Rolexes. I had the nice Audi. I don't have a regular job because I made myself successful through trading and investing. I ran a successful recruitment company that I built up to be multi-million dollars. Like I did it that way. I've been trading since 2013-14. I wasn't making money early on, but that's how early I got introduced to it. I graduated university in 2011-12 and I started working in accounting and finance, and then I started my own company a few years after that, like years in the making. I wouldn't consider myself wealthy until very recently. The last few years I've done really well, but I can shit on these Lambo Raul guys and guys like this all I want. At the end of the day, you know, he's got the Patek and the Lambo and the Ferrari and I don't. But what I believe is I can look at myself in the mirror at the end of the day and be proud of what I do and not have guilt over it or feel slimy about it. And eventually what those guys will do, it will blow up one way or another. It won't last forever. So I hope they're saving.